Peace and blessings. This is Lisa Marie. Hey, High Elevation Channel. I hope you are doing well, perfect, whole, and complete. I hope your life is just everything you ever wanted it to be and more. And I pray for you. I pray for us. I pray for our new lives together because we about to have a new life together and we should discuss that. So come on in. I'll wait. I invited some people over from Afrocentric Home Design Channel, which actually I won't be actually doing any more videos there. I'm only going to do the videos here. But let me just wait for at least one person. And if that person can be a moderator, that'll be great as well. So I'll wait. They doing it. They getting this done. This a tall apartment building that's probably blocking the sun. So there's gonna be a lot of people. They got parking though, so that's smart. Smart. So yeah, 7 people, 1 thumbs up. So okay, I'm gonna wait for a moderator. But there we go. Queen Nubia, hey, good morning. Yasmin, greetings. Hey, ladies. I'm so glad you're here. Every cheer, I go back and forth with the cheers because, y'all, I'm over a crowd. We already know this. So anyway, I wanted to say that I have 2 YouTube channels. It's this one, High Elevation Channel with Lisa Marie, and my other channel, which is Afrocentric Home Design. But I won't be posting on Afrocentric Home Design anymore because having the 2 channels is just, it's ridiculous. It's like when I get on Afrocentric Home Design, I feel forced to talk about Afrocentric Home Design because that's what the channel's name. But I don't, sometimes I want to talk about other things, you know? So I'd rather just have like a new channel or one channel, and that's going to be this channel. And I'm asking everybody from Afrocentric Home Design to, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, that you should subscribe to this channel. So the other thing too is I want to actually change the name of the channel eventually. Eventually, I would like to change this name. I want to do more of I'm changing. I can't be the same. So why also my website. If you go to my website, there is no website. There is no website. I am changing my website. It's not going to be called Afrocentric Home Design because I don't sell anything. I sell my courses and I sell consultations. I don't sell anything that has to do with Afrocentric Home Design. I absolutely don't, and I won't. I don't make clothes. I don't make jewelry. I don't make bags. I don't make any of those things to sell because it's a hassle. It doesn't work for me. Here, I don't really have access to the post office. I mean, there's plenty, but that long line, I'm not into it. I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to do it. There's nothing I want to do. I love new clothes. I love designing clothes for myself. That's probably as far as it's going to go. I love maybe buying cute stuff. That's as far as it's going to go. Reality, though, there's a reality check here, too. I'm up in the mountains. That's where I live. And the mountains don't require the same type of wardrobe, if you know what I mean. I want beautiful summer dresses. I really kind of want this more of this kind of humble life, you know? I want to put, and I have to put everything into the guest house. I have to put everything into the land. I got to put everything into getting my land together, getting my house together. I have to put everything into that. And if I don't do that, then what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm 57. I'm going on 58, and I gotta live. I gotta live my life right now, not later. I feel a lot of. In the last 3.5 years, when I think about it, it's been a lot of heaviness. It's like I definitely. If I ever have a relationship again, I gotta make sure that I'm not taking on energy or heaviness that is different than when you're with yourself. You know, when I first got here, there was so much I didn't know, and I didn't know how to do, and I needed help. And I'm so very thankful for that help. But what I really got to do now is all really on me and the people and the things and the places that the universe sends to me that assist me. I moved on. He's moved on. And that's good. Like, it's a blessing because, like I said, there's so much fire inside of me. And I was drowning in the water, child. I was drowning in the water, and that's okay. You know, I'm sure I was burning his butt too. You know what I'm saying? So, I really do believe that you get into things, and things happen in your life to get you to a certain place. Both of the people involved. We all are supposed to get each other to a certain place. And I got him somewhere. He may not realize it now, but I did. And he got me somewhere. But now it's up to us to live our own lives, and it's up to me to live my way, and the way that I move quickly. I move with assurity. I move with energy, and I move with fire. To be honest, so we're gonna change the whole channel name. Now you might say, well, what's wrong with High Elevation Channel? I absolutely loved the time that we had together under that umbrella. I just don't want to be, I want to change. You know how some people say, I've changed? I will say I want to change. I welcome change into my life. I haven't changed like that. Yeah, I've been doing something the same way for a very long time. But I'm a whole person. I want to change. I'm going into this guest housing thing. I'm going into this natural building, living off grid type energy. I'm going into that. That is what it was. Before I got that call about the ex, I was so focused on off-grid living, catching rainwater and farming, and y'all know it. The mud clay house, that was absolutely my focus. And there was a reason that's my focus. It's the time, and how old am I not to be doing that right now? I'm not getting caught up in that cry, nor have I. I didn't spend a lot of money. I go out to buy the stuff that's absolutely necessary. I'm not wasting no money on nothing. It's time to build, it's time to do, it's time to be. And I'm ready to do it. So the name, I don't know what my new website's gonna be. And that dang noise. And I don't know how much of the construction I'll be able to take. Lord help me. Lord help me. You know what? I'm going to ask the Most High. Most High, bring everything to me speedily. The things that I still have to do here, make it come in an instant. Because I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Oh my gosh. So yeah, y'all. So I don't know what the channel name is going to be. But that really annoys me. Okay. But it's not going to be High Elevation Channel, Releasing Ray. It's going to be a lifestyle channel. I just want to share my lifestyle. We got the guest house. The guest house is about to be pumping. The community that's coming from that guest house, the new things that's coming from that guest house, it's going to be the same spiritual circle. It's going to be the same higher elevation, but it's only going to come in the real world. Remember I was telling you we can't do everything here, nor should we. I want to be more private, but with people. I want to actually be with the people. I want to, oh my God, the guest house is the perfect thing for me. Been saying for a couple of years now. Like I don't want to so much be online. I want to live offline, but still generate income. And that guest house is just the beginning of that lifestyle that that request to the universe that I put out a while ago. I've been put that request out. I don't want to. I don't want to get old sitting in the chair. I don't want to be the one that's always just in the house or no. I already figured I ain't hardly got no clothes. I already figured out that clothes wasn't making me happy. That things was not making me happy. This was all happening, and the brother being brave enough to release this, released me. And release all the talent inside me, all the newness inside me. They do say, you know what they say, that every day it gets better and time heals the wounds. Y'all, I want to tell you, for anybody that's going through any kind of heartache, the last 2 days I've been seeing some things in my mind, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding? Are you freaking kidding? Now the right people can come. Now the people that is for you can come. Like, are you kidding? I'm walking away. If I think about it, you really think about how we hold on to things. I mean, a lot of us, everybody holds on to something. A lot of people hold on. All of us have experiencing holding on to something past the due date. Every last one of us. And not seeing the blessings in the thing releasing. And you're both releasing. I see it now. You just think about it. Think about it this way. When I walk away, I'm walking away with what I have. I'm walking away with still having a way to generate my income. I'm walking away with having some things that I can actually do some things and build on. I'm walking away with a possible business. I feel sorry sometimes. I say a lot for the brothers here that are struggling. They have to get with somebody else to even create or build. So it's like they're going from one, if they say master, then you're going to another one. Have your own, make sure your children have their own, so that no matter when they starting over won't be a big hassle for them. So I'm really blessed. I'm not losing, I'm winning. Think about it. If you want to be successful here and you are, if you're, live in poverty, then you're,
Hello?
yes. Okay, you're here. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so you want this, have this. Okay, go. Yes.
Your side loading.
Okay.
Side.
Okay, thank
One
you.
day should be there.
Do I have a screwdriver? Oh yeah, you gotta get one. Okay, I'll be here, thank you. All right. I was really thinking about a lot of different things about, like, if I could just tell my sisters, like, come here and stay focused. You don't want to pick up things you don't need. I think about the brothers here, that their whole thing is that they have to find somebody to help them to become more, or to take care of their families, or to do their thing. And you got to know that before I get so upset, I got to understand the situation. That's a real situation. And I'm allowed to be able to move forward out of that situation. And if somebody else wants to pick up that slack, they should be happy. But that's what they're doing. They're going to pick up that slack. All that glitters not gold. We have so much that we come to do in this life, and we actually have to do it. At my age especially, like, picking up somebody is not necessary. I need somebody that can put into, somebody that can help me help them too. Helping is mutual. It's like a business deal, and I know that that's coming. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I didn't understand it. I got much more money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, just more time, just nobody to say, no, I don't want that idea, or no, I don't like that. It's a great time to build. It's a great time to be creative. And I just feel very, very blessed. When you start putting things into perspective, when you start really understanding, you don't feel a loss. That's how you get over it. A lot of times when you're feeling the idea of loss, it is because you forgot the truth. You're not telling yourself the truth. You're not even seeing the truth. And when I really started to see the truth, that this idea of supporting your mom and your brothers and your family and your this and your that, because listen, anybody that comes here and you pick up a man that has less than you, I promise you, you are going to be the breadwinner. Even if you hook them up into some type of business, there's a lot that you have to do in that. And then once the person becomes self-sufficient, there's no guarantee that the person will stay with you. Because the person really is in it for the self-sufficiency. That's what they're in it for. They want their own, but they need you to still allow them to have it. That was a lot. It was hard to be creative, and then you're trying to also think about you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't really have. So there was this very much, but we don't have to do that anymore. We're moving on. It's a blessing. But all I'm saying to you is, sometimes we're crying over something that's a blessing. We're crying over something that really wasn't for us. We're crying over something that actually got us very sick. Almost died, to be honest with you. We're not here to be, at our age, to be burdened. We're here to live our incredible life. If this is the last, like I said, this is the last incarnation, then oh my God, that woke me up. That reading, that's what that sister came into my life for. That sister that was the reader for me. She came into my life to give me that information. The rest of it was just some projected stuff. But that right there, that was the most important thing. You know how they say to you, they say, that saying that says, live each day like it's your last? If you knew, somebody came down from the ethers and told you that you only had one more year, you would live your life. Either you would be totally depressed and just give up and don't use it 1 year, or you would wake up And you'll be like, you know what? I want to live my life. I want to live it fully. And then you'll have to assess everything that keeps you away from that. Everything that keeps you away from that. Let me explain to you. I remember somebody wrote me in one of those messages that I treated this other person like a houseboy. No, 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 no. Let me tell you what treated him like a houseboy. It wasn't me. It was the fact that a man cannot provide for himself. So if a woman is providing for you, you will always feel like a houseboy. If a woman is providing for you, you will, because a man is not supposed to have a woman provide for him. It's emasculating, and it's not her doing it. So you got to really understand the dynamics here. Happiness and joy, how could they be? And even let me tell you about a woman mind, because I was in it. Then when you set them up into something, you start becoming kind of possessive. You start thinking they kind of owe you. You'll start getting mad at every little thing they don't do. And your mom will be thinking, but I'm feeding him, I'm housing him, I'm clothing him. Or even if you set them up in a business, you'll say, well, I started that business. It's the nature of a man. Let me tell you, men only date on the level that they can afford. And if they can afford more, they're going to get more. So he had nothing, so he said, okay, I can get this person because, I don't really have nothing. Plus, he didn't even know how good looking all that he was. Once he got more, then he was able to take care of himself, then he could meet more. Soon he'll upgrade to the next level. Because that's the nature of a man too. They have to have their own. They have to provide for themselves. And not only provide for themselves, they shouldn't even get married if they can't provide for a woman. There's no sense in that. Why? Marriage is for men that actually have money. You know what? Dating, honestly, Africans got it right. You shouldn't even date, you ain't got no money. When you meet an African here, like the taxi driver, and you be like, oh, how old are you? They like to chit-chat with you. And you be like, well, how old are you, young man? They'd be like, I'm 33. You'd be like, do you have children? They'd be like, no. Like, are you married? They'd be like, no. I'd be like, and we all ask, why are you not married? They'd be like, I can't afford it. I can't afford a wife. You can't afford a wife, you can't have a wife. Like, you have to have money. Don't come in with no money. The woman cannot have more money than the man. If I could put that one in your head, let me tell you what brought this on. I was watching this show yesterday. It was a dating show. And the woman was talking about, she definitely makes her own money. She makes great money. She's a black American in Atlanta making great money. She was 35. She had 2 children, but they were almost like 16, 17. And so she's really wanting to have a mate. But she, of course, stressed that she don't want no broke man and no man looking for a house and somebody she got to take care of, all legit. And so the woman and the man she does want is this great guy, the black man that makes that 6 feet tall, that got 6 inches, 6 feet, and making 6 figures, right? That's the thing. And so the host was saying, like, that's every black woman's, and other, but especially black woman's dream, and she wants a black man. And so the host said, would you be open to him? You don't have to be open to him having other women. And she's like, no, I want him to be monogamous. Well, his choices become greater when he actually has more choice. When he has more money, he has more choices. He has more access. It's true. This is a fact. It'd be very hard for that man, that 6-figure man. We talk about several 300,000, 400,000, even 100,000, which is nothing in today's economy, right? Those men are absolutely going to have a side chick. Those men, right? So the girl was like, well, I travel and I went to Ghana and I was there for 2 weeks. And if these men don't work out here, I'll just go to Ghana. And so the sister said, but now you have a problem because you want to go to Ghana to get a man, but they definitely not going to have the money that you're asking for. And she said, no, there's rich ones here. Okay, let me explain. They are rich. When you go to some of these nicer places, there's a brother that was doing this. He has a YouTube channel called Passport Heavy, wonderful YouTube channel. And he highlighted Ghana, and he's promoting it because he's also investing in Ghana, and he's wanting people come, and he showed all these wonderful places to go, these different lounges, and all these different high-end resorts, and the whole bit. And then you see Ghanaians also in it. Those Ghanaians that go to those places are really mostly the fraudsters. And the fraudsters are the ones that do the online, I won't say the SCAM thing, and they really are the ones with the Mercedes-Benz, the BMWs. You're going to come into and be like, oh my God, look at all these Ghanaians, got Mercedes-Benz and BMW. It's not a lot, but when you see it, it looks like a lot. But it's ill-gotten gain. So the girl said, oh no, the man there is rich. A real rich one has an arranged marriage that he's been married because his family being wealthy and that family being wealthy, that makes sense. They do this in the same thing in American culture, not so much black American culture, but white American culture, that they have to marry on the same status. Your wife is basically picked up. You know that you are the Rockefellers, you're going to marry the Vanderbilts. Do you understand? This is from the beginning, everybody knows. Now, will that rich man have a woman on the side or two? He will absolutely have a woman on the side or two. It's almost given here. The women do, now I'm not saying they accept it. I don't ask, don't tell, but they know it's happening. This is the reality. So I know this to happen because these women are coming here thinking the men are either the rich ones. That was 2 weeks. You was here for 2 weeks. You don't know nothing about that man. You have no, this is the video I was saying with the girl. And the sister was trying to explain this idea because the men say, well, we don't like the way the women are in America. We're going to go abroad and we're going to get us a subservient wife. They are going to get that because they have the money to get it. But because we live in a society around the world, the man is considered the head of the household. So let me tell you what happens when the woman has the money. When a woman has the money, she might think she's helping him. And at first, yes, she is helping him, but she shouldn't be helping him because he's a man. What happens is he's going to resent her. Let me tell you why he's going to resent her, because she now has more than him. He got to come to her for everything like a little houseboy. So he starts to feel like, oh, it's really, they bought land, but it's really her land. They bought this apartment, but it's really the name is her apartment. The clothes on his back starts to be hers. The food that he eats starts to be her. So he will resent her. Let me tell you what happens to the psychology of the woman, though, that also is doing it. She now feels like that is her possession. So if he don't act right, don't do right, she has a problem with it. And she will let him know every single second, because now don't let him start looking better. You upgrade him, you upgrading him for other women that's interested. Now if he has the money, so let's say you set him up in a business. I'm gonna set him up in a business, right? You set this brother up in a business, I guarantee you he's gonna have more access to more money, which means he has more access to better women. The ideal woman for, especially the African man, a Ghanaian man, especially one that has no children, is 25, between the ages, in all honesty, between the ages of 18 and 25. Anything older than that is considered an old woman still. So since, people want to look at the 57-year-old, the 37-year-old is an old woman here too. Because the chances of her being as fertile as an 18 to 25-year-old is almost, she's not as fertile. She's not going to be, it could happen, don't get me wrong, but why make you marrying a person, so you're not going to gamble that. You're going to really, you want the odds to be for you and not really against you. As soon as you get the person together, I've seen this stuff before. I'm just trying to warn you ladies because you're coming. So I realize how many people are coming to Ghana and have come to Ghana and visiting. They got this misconception. This is a society where the men are supposed to take care of the woman. We really most places in the world is what that is. It's really supposed to be that in America too. The men are knowing, but they're saying, since I got to provide for this woman, since that's my role, right? And these women are not acting right, I'm going to get somebody that's going to act right. It would be a lot easier for a Ghanaian man, young man, to be with a Ghanaian woman, because that culture is, you could sit there and think, I can learn this culture. It's more than the foods you cook, y'all. It's more than the language that you might get down and fluent. It's these subtleties that are not so subtle that they need. It's an understanding of what this really is. It's even an understanding of how love is, how fun. So it's a different understanding. And they really prefer that. If they had money, if they were able to take care of themselves, if it wasn't such a corrupt society, if they were not governed by the powers that be, I promise you they would be with their own women. They would not even think about getting with us, young or old. And this is a fact. This is a fact. So the person feeling like a houseboy has very little to do with you, and has the fact to do with that they can, if they have more money, they wouldn't even pick you, first of all. But also because they don't have money, they don't have pride. They realize they go into it like that. The reason why I think some women are being deleted is the man realizes, oh my God, I trapped myself. I trapped my own self. And what happens, like I said, psychologically, the woman with the money doesn't realize that she is becoming the man. So now she's the demanding one. She wants to tell him what to do and how to do it. You think you're not. You're like, I'm not going to be like that other woman. It's not that the other women try to be like that. It's a possessive. When men pay for everything, men believe that they should have, they got some things to say. That's why a lot of men would be like, well, to be like, why are you cheating? Why are you cheating? He'd be like, don't I pay all the bills? Are you not in the finest clothes? Do you not ever have to worry about a bill? Are you not in the will? You got everything. I'm going to do what I want to do. That whoever has the money has the power. It's just a dynamic, and it's the truth. And so my God, some people are going to come misconception that when they went out for the Dirty December, you got all these high rolling Ghanaians that are making, yes, lots of money, but it's ill-gotten, it's illegal, it's absolutely, they got a name for them. They got a name for those boys. Soccer boys, fraudsters, you could call them whatever you want. They could lose that tomorrow, most likely they will. And even they are sending money back to their country, because a lot of them are not from this country, and some are. We have to come in here not looking for a man. And I understand, we're very starved in the United States. The men ain't really checking for us like that. The man ain't really checking for us. How many women in the United States, black women, have never been married? And I'm talking about never. The young ones are not even now interested because the men got so much to choose from. So we got women who have never been married, who might even have children already. Nothing wrong with you, but the fact is that man now knows that he don't have to settle for you. He can get something, as they call, better, more submissive. Really, you with all your stuff is not really traditional. Think about it here. A lot of times when a man here marries a woman, but she's a girl. We gotta think about that. She's not really a woman, so she would go stay with his mother, or at least stay close to his mother. And she would be younger than his mother, of course, because the mother would teach her the ways of that family and the things that her son likes. So this whole idea of the way that everything is kind of is, this is going to be a very interesting country as the influx of foreigners come in, particularly Black American or diasporan foreigners who have a bunch of women who are highly desperate. And I don't mean desperate in an insulting way, but the whole idea. And the men are also desperate. And that desperation plus desperation leads to disaster every single time. It is not normal for you to pay for a man. It's not. It's not the way. I don't think we're wired that way. I don't think that somewhere inside, you know how some men like to say, men in general are not wired to be monogamous. Maybe they're not. I would then say too, they're not wired to be the girl or to be the wife. They are supposed to be the husband. And these African men know it. They will tell you that. They break the, so my mind is really seeing the bigger picture here. We better come here for a whole nother reason. Because coming here and getting a husband, you're supposed to have a husband already. They're already looking at you sideways. You know what they're looking at? They'll be okay with it, but they're looking at you like this. Nobody ever married her. Oh, but this is the same thing in America. Nobody ever married her. Why nobody ever married her if she's such a great catch? Oh, she got a baby, but she's never been married. She got a baby, but she's never been married. Why no man ever wanted to marry her? It's going to look at all kinds of things. You want a 35-year-old or you want a 25-year-old? You mostly, if you're African, you don't want a 20. Even these young Black American men want the same 25-year-old or less. But it makes sense that she only has a certain window to produce babies. And you would like her to produce some smart ones that's got all sense. I want you to understand the culture, because when you understand the culture, it's not that far from the culture we used to have. We used to get married earlier too. The men used to have to not date us too long and marry. But that was different. You had the whole family together to approve. You had somebody say if this person spoke up for this person, not his mama. His mama can't speak for him, okay? She loved him. Somebody else got to speak for him. The things he's done in the community, there's protocol. And I see so much, and I say, oh my God, these women. I was another story about a sister, young sister too, married a musician, a Rasta, in reggae. We should run in marrying a musician is chancy anyway, even in the United States. If your husband's a musician, I know he's a great one, and he's not like this. I'm talking about the other ones, okay? Because, and she says that she's upgraded him tremendously. Like, she saw a picture of what he used to look like and what he looked like now. And now he's giving her slack. She think he messing around with this Ghanaian girl. He probably is. He probably is. And if I could just do that one thing, just learn from my own experience. I live here. You don't live here. You just come visit. You just come visit. I live here. It's not that they're bad at that. They are desperate, and unfortunately, a like attracts like. If you come in here desperate, when you look, you can't just look at a man and the man says he's single. You go, wow, he's single. I'm going to go for him. He must be available. He's my man. If you meet a man and he doesn't have a key because he's sleeping on the ground. If he's sleeping on the ground somewhere for free, he ain't got a key. If you go to his parents' house and they living in poverty, what are you even thinking about marrying somebody like that? That doesn't even make sense. There's no way that is evenly yoked. There's no way. And my young sisters, y'all coming over here losing your minds. We old ladies did already, but we old ladies have lost their lives. So now we getting better at this. Come here for something greater. Come here because you want the warm weather, that you want to have your own land. Come here because you want to get your family to be here. Come here because you want to invest. Do not come here for no man. I promise you there is no way that he loves you as much as you think. Their concept of love is so different than the one you have. Yours is romantic, rom-com, Hollywood, the movies. I prayed for him, therefore he came. But he came with nothing. He has nothing to offer you. Nothing. This is what somebody told me. I remember when I had introduced a young man to a 70-year-old diasporan chief in a pantomime. He said, what can he do for you? He can't do shit for you. You're going to be doing for him. And as soon as you do for him, he will upgrade, because I'm telling you this, that here, if you're 35 and older, if you're 30 and older, you are considered an old maid, because your chances of fertility has lessened. Y'all don't want to know the basics, but this is the basics of life. And if I know you, come y'all, this is not, and it's not bad. This is not about scamming, scheming. This is not about, oh, the people are bad. I'm telling you about maybe something we forgot. We used to have this in our culture too. We would not marry a man. Your father would not allow you to marry a man that was not able to provide for you. No father would allow that. We had that culture too. We wouldn't, our family was very involved in this. No, you wouldn't even want it. You would be so raised so well that you would know that that's a nice looking cute guy. This is not a fairy tale that they got. Fall for the pauper, even though your rich family wants you to marry the arranged marriage. The arranged marriage, as far as the caring of the offsprings, was actually better, because at least you knew that that man had a responsibility to make sure your children are schooled. Listen, when you live in a country that they don't have education, you start seeing the importance of education. They can't even educate their children. And that's a guarantee that the child will be in poverty for the rest of their life, and will produce another generation that will be in poverty as well. We're not talking bad about Ghana. It's not bad. We had that system too. What are we doing? We're looking into the man. I don't care what you think. You don't care what you say. You don't know him, and you're marrying him quickly, because a lot of people come here and marry fast. And I understand why. Sometimes you meet them over the internet, right? Sometimes you know that the possibility of coming back and forth is going to be a lot. So we marry them a little too quickly, because we and then we want to go back and come back. A lot of people are just doing, that's not a marriage. If you live in the United States and he living here, that's not a marriage. And then when you decide to live here, oh boy, one's really going to get real. You're going to really realize that the person, I don't want to say the person is using you. Okay, I'm not, because I don't want to put it's a new channel, we have a new way. I'm not saying the person is using you. I'm saying the person is utilizing you to get what they need. And then they will, when they get what they need, they will upgrade. And it's the same in the United States. There's really no difference in dating around the world. The principles are the same. The man is the provider. Do not marry a man who has nothing. And you know he got nothing, and what you gonna do? Who's gonna do everything? And the idea of when you go out on Dirty December and you see all these Ghanaians popping bottles and whatever else they doing, honey, them are the select few. Them are the one ill-gotten gain, and most likely they may be taking from your grandmother's Social Security account. I'm just trying to say, your her 401k. They're not bad, just like the ones in America is not bad, but they're desperate. The ones in America, the black men in America that into that young people age group, they already have decided that you're too old. You're in your 30s. You already have a child. Nobody wedded you. Nobody married you. But I promise it's the same here. They're checking it all out. If if a man had choices, you would see if a man had access to capital, if a man had his own, the woman that he would really get. We see it all the time in the U.S. We see it all the time. We could take the celebrity. He sure did that. That South Carolina boy, that South Carolina football boy, he was dating the girl right next door. Y'all know it. He dated the girl next door. Looked like a nice, regular little brown-skinned girl. Honey, when he hit the big leagues, she is traded in for the thing that he always wanted and couldn't get because he has money, he has access. Believe me, she's not over 30. She ain't got no children by nobody else. And whatever else you do. And she ain't even, wait, this is the part you can, and she don't have no high power job. She don't have no career. They really want those. We want you to be home with the kids, which makes sense because you only marry really for the offspring. You're marrying to ensure that your children become more important than you. Your legacy becomes more important than you. We want to be romantic about this ish. It's not romantic. It's not, I fell in love and we're going against all odds. It's not. It's not. Anyway, sorry, Spirit came. We was talking about something else, wasn't we? Sonovia, Yasmin, Clyde Dell, Empress T, Lakeisha Russell. Everybody's here. So impression. Sonovia, da. I love your transparency. Time for rebranding. Yes, Yasmin, thank you. Yes, I say live the life lightening the load. Yes. Yes. Retired says, greetings, family. Hey, okay, greetings. The beautiful says virtual, the collaborations. I love your earrings. Thank you, chicken. Hey, John. She knows. John will tell you. Peace, sis. Hey, Indigo. Hey, great and good rising, Queen sisters. Yes. Preach, Lisa. Thank you, Nicole. Christian says, so true, Queen. Yes. Your earring looks amazing. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, Queen. Zanetaji. Love in what you are saying. Yes, this is good, says Tira. Hey, Alan. Yes. And like, share, subscribe, comment. Don't go to the website, though, because I don't have one. And that's why she didn't put that. She's doing good. And check your notifications. When I thought about this show that I was watching, I was saying, oh, my God, Dirty December is messing people up. Them boys, they got a name for them. They call fraudsters. Sakawa. If I'm lying, go look it up. I promise you. That money they throwing around, it won't last. It's fast money. It's ill-gotten gain. They don't even take you seriously, because you're coming over here wild, okay? You're showing your body like crazy, and you're throwing yourself on them. You can't throw themselves. A man is supposed to choose you. You cannot choose a man. That don't work here, and it's not even working in the States in that certain peer group. And the peer group that we're talking about is the ones that actually can get married and have children. The ones where the woman is still fertile enough to produce a legacy. What is a legacy? It's not the house you're going to have. That house that you have is not a legacy. Your legacy is your children to come. That is your legacy. You pick the wife that you can trust with legacy. This is why they don't want the boss woman. They don't want her. She got her own money. A man's not going to feel like a man. Y'all can come to me and be like, this is old barbaric. This is what's happening here, and it used to happen where we were. I'm going to keep saying that. And I'm not faulting us for being boss babes. I'm not faulting us for having degrees and all that. I love that idea. I think that's what makes us us. So I'm not, some of us, we did it already. We already in it. I'm talking about what they're doing. So they're not using you per se. They're utilizing you. They prefer their own women, and they should prefer their own women. They should. Because when you think about it, she understands, like I said, the idiosyncrasies of the culture. She understands the subtleties of the culture. She understands that he has to give money to his mom and his family. She understands that his brother's children is not his cousin. His uncle's children is not his cousin. It's his brother, and that's what he says. His uncle's daughter is not his cousin, that's his sister, and she too will need school supplies. She too will need school fees. You got to understand the culture. The youthfulness they want in the young woman is because of the babies. It's true. Our clock do be ticking. Everybody clock is ticking as a woman. So there's a certain amount of time that you have to create this baby. So this idea of coming over here and you're going to find this amazing man, first of all, he don't have nothing. And that's okay that he doesn't have nothing. Be his friend. Don't marry him, because you're about to set yourself, you're going to set yourself up for frustration. You're going to be frustrated because he's going to feel emasculated because he didn't really understand what it is to not be his culture. He didn't really understand what it is to deny his culture, even for a moment, for money. He didn't know what it was going to be. He didn't know he was going to feel small in his own house. It ain't his house. Now, who is very famous for letting, I'm just playing, letting a mother effer know it ain't their house. Black American women will throw you out their house in a minute, including me. Because we feel like, wait a second, you're not obeying. Wait a second, you talking all this ish. What's the first thing we say? I bought that. We will do it in a minute. That money, that boss thing, the reason why I think a lot of men don't even like the boss baby is because there is a certain amount, who has the money has the power. So there is a certain amount of aggressiveness that woman's going to have because but she becomes unhappy too. Because now she realized everything you got to do. She buying the toilet paper for you to wipe your ass. Okay, she going to get mad when you want to go somewhere else or do your own thing. It's not right, it's wrong, but the whole thing is wrong from the beginning. It's wrong from the beginning. So you're coming over here, y'all, to a culture that still has somewhat of a culture. Yes, they're conveniently dropping the culture to get with somebody that's taking care of them instead of the other way around. Men don't take kindly to that. They may act like, oh, I'm so grateful for everything you do, but inside they're going, this is not right. I'm a man. I should be having my own, and he will get his own off of you. But don't feel no way. It's just when he goes into, he might not even know, like, I'm about to leave her. When I get to the place I want to be, I'm going to leave her. He may not know. I'm not saying that they're all going with ill intent. I think some of them are going with beauty, but okay, you know what? I would love to believe that they're coming over and saying, I really love this woman. I don't think that's it. I think they realize that life is hard. She already came off the boat buying me stuff. She already came off the boat, off the plane, child. So, I mean, it's another world. But I always go back to, we used to have those same values. And we're going to have to either decide if we want to continue to bring those values to our child, that she should date somebody and be with somebody when she's young, especially, that can provide for her, so at least the man can feel like he's a man, the woman can feel like she's a woman, and maybe they can do things together. I don't know, but I know in Ghana, that's the way it looks. Don't get me wrong, the women help too. Okay, so the men here will complain. They will say, there's no women like my mother. My mother, my grandmother, what they meant was that the mothers and the grandmothers, they would get with their husbands and they would build together. We used to do that too. We didn't have to have the man be in these high six figures or these other numbers. And it wasn't that we married potential. When we met him, he was a hard-working man. And whatever he had, he gave us. And he still wanted his wife not to work. And he still wanted to be a provider, even if he was a sharecropper. Even if he was, in the mind, that's the plumber, which makes great money, by the way. But you know what I'm saying? But this thing now, when men want to be taken care of, and then women get mad after you take care of him. You took care of him. You signed up because he was looking cute. You signed up because he had swag. And then you got mad later on when you realized, oh no, that don't pay the bills. The cute and the swag is not paying no bills. You don't want to go into a situation that is already going to prove to be difficult. If they're in a difficult situation when you met them, I don't know what else you think this is going to be. That means you walked into difficulty. Another thing too, you have to get to know people. You can't be just marrying people. You just gotta get to know people. You have to be like, let me vet this person. And I say this, and I know, yes, it's based on my own story, of course, especially, and let's talk about, I don't care if you're in America, I don't care if you're in Argentina, I don't care where you are. If a man just got out of a relationship and he is already in love with you, he has not done his work. And that on a whole nother level is not going to work. If you just got out of a relationship and you find somebody you think this is the one, You have not done your work because you are looking for love in all the wrong places. Some of this stuff we could eliminate. Some of this stuff, the possible heartache down the end of the road, it don't even have to be if you open your eyes. This is what it is. And let me say this. If everything is returning back, let's say this, if people are returning back to a more simpler life, and people are returning back to living off the grid, which is a different life. It's not an easy life now. It might be simpler, but I don't know if it's easier. Because you got to do a lot to keep that farm going. It's work every single day. That's a different kind of, so yeah, I was talking about the support. So the man here, it's not like, I don't really see, maybe it's on the richer people that the man works and the wife doesn't. The women here work. But that's what they're called, working together. They're struggling together. The wife is maybe doing, like I said, selling, being a market woman. And you can market, you can sell cloth, you can sell fish, you can sell other foods, you can sell items for the home, market woman. The man might be doing some manual work. But they call that coming up together. They're coming up together. This idea that the man is the one, the sole provider, is slowly kind of going. I don't know if it ever was really here, but this is what they tell me. The man is supposed to be the one that provides. So y'all walking into a whole culture that if you under a certain age, you don't even know exists, but you still want it. A man, when a person has money, it's whether it's you or the man or the woman, it doesn't depend who has the money. That person again starts to feel like they're the one that has the power, and in a lot of ways they do. But if it's a power over a man, it will not work forever. He's a man. Deep down inside, he's still a man, and that part of himself is going to feel like a houseboy, even if you're not making him. He has nothing to contribute, and you want him to do everything you said because you gave him the money. If you see him think, no, I'm not going to get mad when he doesn't talk to me, because now you got this basic cultural differences. So the way that a lot of African American women want to relate, or I'm just going to say American women, because we are American. Let's just call it what it is and stop playing. We are American, okay? The way American women relate, the things that we want from our men, they're very social. They like to be with their brothers. They like to be with their men folk. I know so many African American women married to African men, and that's such a big part. He's always with his family. Even I'm talking about in the States, I saw that. They're going to talk their language. They're more comfortable with it. They should talk their language. There's things that you wouldn't believe. I remember this one brother told me that he had married a black American woman, and eventually he got the green card, and eventually he even got the citizenship. He had 2 children by her. He told me he comes back and forth to God, his family's here. He said all his Ghanaian friends asked him, so you're going to divorce her now, right? I mean, you're going to divorce her. Because the idea is to divorce her and get a Ghanaian woman. Like I said, if we took out poverty, people could be happy. If we took out poverty, the Mexicans would not be trying to cross the Rio Grande. They wouldn't be swimming across the Rio Grande. Do you understand? I remember taking an ethnic studies class, and it was Hispanic studies at that time. I think we call it Latin studies, or Latino studies. I can't remember. I think it was Latina there. And I remember we read this wonderful book about the people coming from Central America. And they all said if their own country was not so poor, they would never leave. They would stay right where they are. We have to start building and creating worlds where the people of likeness can be with each other. It's sad that we have to have sex tourism and all these other things. I'm not blaming the people anymore, if you can see. I'm looking at the reality. And I'm looking at and I feel so for us because we're so desperate. We are so desperate as Black Americans. Not all of us, but a lot of the ones that come here, we become so desperate because we are so, I got this fruits in here, because we are neglected. We feel neglected. We didn't get it together. We didn't do it right. Not us as Black women, as a society. We got lost with materialistic things. So the age where we should have been is the ones that want to get married. The age that we should have been cultivating ourselves to be wives, if that's what we say we want to be. And a lot of women say they want to get married. So if you want to get married, would you not be a wife? What is a wife? If you go by the system is that the wife is the one that nurtures, and she nurtures the children so that the man can go out there and do his thing. Or she can also be in a business together, but it's still a partnership. It's not, I'm going to do this to live my life, and you're going to do that. No, it's not. So, but we don't learn that until we get older, and then our chances become slimmer. I've been married, and I'm so excited. I'm so glad I had a child, and I'm happy about that too. It's not me putting them down like that, like I used to. It's not me making them seem like villains. They're really right. Now, the right part is, okay, maybe using the women, but I don't know. We kind of putting ourselves to be used because we know that what we're doing is this is going to backfire. And let me tell you something. You are going to start not liking them, but you won't let them go because you put too much money into them. You're going to get mad every time you turn around and you're paying for everything. Oh my God, that's going to wear on you so bad. They getting mad because you think you paying, and you getting mad because you pay. It's a very vicious cycle. It's a horrible thing. You're going to be very, very upset. And you're going to expect things from them. So now that simple thing where he's on his phone too much, or he doesn't have relate to you, or you'll have great conversations, and now you, because you, American women, we love to talk, we love to have conversations, we love the meeting of the minds, and maybe he's not trying to do that or into that, or he don't really know who the fuck you are because you a whole nother culture, a whole nother language that you've mastered and he hasn't. He ain't that into you. Let's just be honest, right? And then so normally if it was a normal marriage and he had the money and you didn't, or it was y'all's money instead of your money, then it would be a normal argument. He might walk out or do something else, whatever men get to do, and come back or not come back for a while. But once you pay the money and you want to talk and he don't feel like it, oh, you going to see the other side of yourself. You're going to jump up in his face. I want to talk to you right now. I know you're going to listen to me. Wait a second, what you doing? And he'll try to cook. He'll be like, no, I paid for that food. No, that's my frying pan you cooking in. You'll start being petty, petty, petty. Because the resentment builds. It builds. It's not normal. I didn't say it's not right. I said it's not normal. And this is the young one with the young man. If you're the other provider, then you become the mommy. And no man wants to marry his mother. The idea I'm trying to tell you is, to the man, the 30-something-year-old, well, you're too old anyway for him. Because he really can get if he had money, he would most likely try to get a woman between 18 and 25, if he had the money. So it's already going against his culture to date you over 35 years old, period. And you better produce a baby in a year or mama gonna get rid of you anyway and get somebody else to do it. There is no love and loyalty. They need that baby. They need that baby before they die. They need to see that child. It's a lot. So we have to start building our self-worth with the reality of being an American woman, with the reality of being this breadwinner. Yeah, we can travel where maybe some of our men can't. Yeah, we got it going on. We can buy it with land and all those places we go to it, but we can't buy the custom. And we can't buy a man. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You don't know him. It's just, I know, the weather's sweet, the body, the beauty, the whole bit, but that is a man like everybody else, and only his culture is so different. Let me say this too, the unevenly yoked, you have probably traveled to 5 at least countries. That man ain't even been on a plane. Sometimes he ain't even been as far as from here to the Cape Coast, from Accra to the Cape Coast. So his whole world is a little bit limited. And you think, well, I'm going to introduce him to the world. No, he would like to introduce you to the world. You're still going to introduce him, but you're going to pay for it, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. Oh, I'm going to send him up in the business. Then he make his own money, and then he'll have choices. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm not. I'm not wrong. I'm helping y'all. I'm helping y'all. But this is the same thing happening in the States. So a lot of the women are thinking, well, I got money. If it could be passport bros, I guess it could be passport sis. It's not going to work the same way for you. A man, it's normal to come into another country for him and be able to be a breadwinner to the young lady. You don't want to be a breadwinner to the man. He's not going to like you. He's not going to want you anymore. He knows it's off, but he's going to do it because he wants what he wants. I think about it now, just to say, you met somebody, know that they ain't got no keys to a door. You go to meet their parents, you know that they living in, basically, they're homeless, what we call it, squatting or whatever. And then you seriously say, I'm good with this person. I don't know what we'd be thinking. And I mean, because most of the women I know, older or younger, the guys that they get here, it's the other ones. Because it's the ones that you don't really want. It's the ones that not you don't want. No, you don't want them. You just think you do. So we gotta heal that part of us that would accept much less for ourselves. And we have to stop getting ourselves in situations where we're actually going to only get hurt. And that's it. Loving what you're saying. Thank you. This is good. Hi, sis. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I just joined. Which group of men are we discussing? African men? We discussing Black American men as well. Yes. Oh, yeah. We discussing African. We discussing all men. We discussing men in general. That's what we're discussing. Fax's book. Greetings. Zenobia says greetings. We're discussing both, sis. Pamela says, all wisdom, thank you for speaking truth and light. It seems like we're living in a time where illusion and fantasy is pushed as truth versus reality. And I think it's because of the whole idea of the media and the way America works. I mean, this is why so many things are coming to the surface because, even Disney is soiled. It's a lie. And we do the fantasy. I think the not doing that work of what it feels like to not be chosen, what it feels like that somebody, I don't know where we didn't get that. I think that Black American culture, and Black American culture, our dads tell us that you have your own money, your mother and father, you don't depend on no man. It's not, in itself, it's not really the worst thing because that just means that he cares about you so much, he don't want you to put up with no BS of being with a man. But then you do later on want a man. You did all that, and now you want a man, but you're over 35 or even over 30. You are so used to doing everything on your own. You got your own money. It's the dynamic that a man comes into that he got to think, do I want to do all this? Or let me go over and get this 18 to 25-year-old that I could feel like I'm doing the stuff, I'm providing. Because we say all the time, I don't need no man, I make my own money. Yeah, we should watch their affirmations if we don't. I'm talking about the younger ladies. I'm talking to you young ladies because y'all the ones that's coming over here, first of all, thinking that this is not going to happen to you, but it's going to happen to you because they really, I'm talking about both because I'm talking about how Black American men will say, I'm going abroad to get me a wife, and they do. We know that they do. And it's not that they don't want Black women, if you notice. We're not talking about the ones, we talk about the ones that actually go to even Latin countries, but they get the Black ones. So they do want the Black woman, they just don't want everything that comes with the Black American woman. I'm saying, well, we can have a discussion on how we got here, how we can do things differently for the young people. So I see what we're doing now, we're saying, well, you know what? I'm gonna go to these foreign countries too, and I'm gonna give me a man, because I got the money to travel, I can take time off and travel back and forth. And the thing with that is that it's not going to work for you the same way it's going to work for the man that has his own money. It's not going to work for you the same way. Because the man knows that he should be the provider. He should be the provider. I hate this for us. All of us as African people throughout the world. We have to create the young people of Africa and the young people of America have to create ways that we can be self-sufficient. Whether that's some separate nation, I don't know. There's so many things. I think about Claude Anderson, and so many other people who try to have a way of us being economically strong so that we could also, just like we talk about in our communities as African Americans or Africans in America, to be economically strong. Well, Africa, the continent, and I'm in Ghana, they also, if they had economic strength, they would not be dating us. Not on the whole. And if they were, then it would be fair to say for another experience. But what I find from traditional people, they really are traditional. And I don't think people talk enough about those cultural affinities or those cultural like solidarity that one has. It's almost like I can see it in the name, man. He's been here all his life thinking a certain way, and you come with all these new ideas that does not fit into his reality. Because his reality in the end is that his parents are taken care of to the day they leave the earth. His reality to the end is that his children gets the best of care and the best education. But he is the one that wants to provide it. It's not enough for you to provide it. He's not going to like it. So yeah, but thank you for that. Walked into difficulty, been there. That's right, Pamela. You said you walked in and been there. Crystal says, you're telling the truth. Thank you. I'm married to a Kurdish man. I'm 10 years older. This year is our 10-year anniversary, and his family still doesn't accept me. Wow, one powerful statement. It's everywhere. It's all over the world. So I just feel like as we are, I can look like we seem like we leaving the different countries. I'm just talking about the states in droves, or at least the possibility of it. Don't come with the preconceived notions or the misdirection. You're not winning. You're like, oh my God, I found a husband in Ghana and he has absolutely nothing. You're not winning. You're not winning. We gotta find that love within ourselves. I know it's hard to be out here by yourself. Because I think when we were younger and our parents maybe or society was telling us, get the bag, get the bag, get the bag, get the bag, think about a man later, we really thought the man was gonna be waiting for us. But by the time we get our heads up after getting the bag and our wonderful education, nothing wrong. I'm not even suggesting that there's a solution at this point. I'm not suggesting that. I'm not even suggesting that that was a wrong thing for our parents or ancestors to tell us. I'm telling you that that fact, though, creates other things. And so by the time you lift your head up and you 37, 38, 40 almost, even from 30, and the man ain't really checking for no 30-something-year-old. And that's young. He's checking for that 18 to 25. We may not like the manosphere. I sure don't. But if you listen to them in America, do they all not say that? What do they call the age of hitting the wall? 30. Hitting the wall. We don't have to take it as what is the truth. But if you really think about it, if some of you have sons, you would love your son to, if he wants to marry, you would love your daughter-in-law to be a nice young lady. You would love for her. Matter of fact, when you see young people, I've seen people that have sons, their son is 25, and they'll see a girl like she graduating from college, or she's just her first year, and she's like 22. You'd be like, that's a nice girl right there. You should really marry that nice girl. You're not probably, with your 25-year-old son, going to look at a 35-year-old woman with a child, too, and say, I really think you should marry this woman. You could, but there's some in you, too, that wants this newness, that they have experiences together, that they have their children for the first time. So if we take ourselves out of just us and look at it from a mother's perspective, because people that's watching me are probably our mothers, it's the natural way of life. And that's what I love to see. I say, no older women with the younger men, unless you want to, because it is a spiritual connection, but it's karmic. It's still karmic, so that means you're gonna have some issues. And no old men with the young girls either. I think that's wrong. That's taken away from the young men. Because the only thing the older man has to offer the girl is money. But why can't she have the money or the potential of making money and the youthfulness of the boy that she really loves? So if we were able to properly educate our children, by the time that they are 25 years old, they would be ready to marry. Both children. The boy can get his degree, or he can get his trade, where he has his own business, his mechanic business, his carpentry business. That's a business. The woman would graduate from college, if she likes the guy in college, that's great. It was back in the day when you went to college to get your husband. By 25, they either graduated, they're established in their career. Now they can do some things together. To grow together is beautiful too. I know that they grow apart, that's fine, but I'm just saying it's not. We don't have to agree with it. We we do not have to agree with any of it. If you really want to know, we don't have to agree with any of it. But it is, but it is a reality. But it is a reality, and we have to know that. So come with something in your mind, and you'll be fine. Okay, so Mel has an opinion. Mel says FBA blacks are the most accepting of other groups. That is a downfall. That is a downfall. Charity begins at home. Okay, it's true. Men like younger women to invest their resources into. So women must move to evenly strategic in order to win. Okay, I'm listening. I'm hearing. You're a man. You saying that. I'm going with you. Crystal says, if your father was poor, that's not your fault. But if your husband is poor, that's your fault. Now, come on now, Crystal. Come on now. It's not going to work. The Curtis woman said, it doesn't work. It's not going to work. So when I see you, you're picking up homeless men. Where's that going to go? As personal experience. Well, I didn't get married because, what was the benefit? What's the benefit of you don't really even have something, but you got something, and they got nothing? Why would you get married, though? Okay, run fool around. You want to have a little love on the side, but the reality of marrying means that he has access to everything that you have legally because you signed the paper. We got to fix what is missing inside. But what we can do is, some of the men complain, like the older women like me, that we're not telling these young girls the reality. We're telling them to be boss babes, get the bag, and da-da-da. I never wanted to really hear this, but when I see it here, I'm understanding it from a deeper level, and I'm like, yeah, maybe we should somehow allow them to definitely tell them, of course, if they want to go to school, get their education, but it's okay to look for your husband while you're in college. Because at least you're going in the same place. He's in med school. That's where he's going to be, a doctor. You don't want to. We're trying to get the doctor after he's established than before, which only makes you a side chick. Because guess what? Ain't too many black doctors that's going to even graduate from medical school that's not going to have a wife or a wife-to-be soon. It's not going to happen. Besides the fact that it's this pedigree, and his family is going to make sure if he doesn't choose someone correctly, she will choose another family that's a good girl for him. Legacy, we making this two-way romantic. Legacy is about those children that is going to come forth. It is not about the house. If you ain't got the house, you can't leave to nobody as nothing. You want to leave your fortune and teach them how to create that fortune too. And that's not what we're doing. We're not doing that. So we got that. So to the Ghanaian man, you think you cute, right? You think you coming over here cute. You wearing your butt out. You doing everything that that they don't do, and then you already over the age. I promise you, if you're 30 or older, you pushing it. If you're 35 and over, they playing with you. They're gonna play in your face. This is all they can get at this point. When they have more, they're going to get better. And like I said, if they have all that they need, they will stay right here, and they will be with these women these 18 and 25-year-olds, absolutely stunning. Everything's sitting up, honey. Everything's sitting up. I'm talking about, let's be in a man's perspective. He's going for the looks too. He wants a beautiful woman. He wants the fertile woman. The idea of the breast sitting up, the booty sitting up. Can I go there? I'm going to take my liberty. It is the idea of the goddess of fertility. Where he sees in her, he sees a mother of his children, not the mother of. So once you have passed a few babies through you, he doesn't, that he got money now. He got access. He got power. You over 35, she 18 to 20, she don't win. You with all your education, her with the education of how to take care of a man. She knows how to cook. She knows how to clean. And she knows how to say, yes, please. You know I have a hard time with it. We come thinking that our brilliance and our intelligence and our degrees are what he wants. He don't give a damn. He will love his woman humble. He don't even want you in the city. He wants you to live far away from where he works because you are his woman and you are his family. And he is there to protect you. It's so basic, I know. And nobody wants to talk basic because we're so educated. But I'm trying to get you educated on how it works out here. If you were having a hard time getting a man in the United States, and then you came over here and suddenly they all over you, you that same woman that couldn't get a man over there, not because you're not pretty or this, it's because in a sense, it's unfortunate, but again, it's that aged out thing. It's that aged out thing like, you're not as fresh as the girl here. And let me say this too about the women here as far as the fertility and getting pregnant. You know, somebody once said that you could breathe on a Ghanaian woman and she'll get pregnant. That's a compliment, not an insult. They have stuff that they got it going on. They got things that they do that they take, like that alum, I think it's called, probably other things that to make sure the vagina and everything gets back tight after they give birth to the babies. They got things to get pregnant. They got things for the baby. And it's not that you could take it. Some of this herbs, we take it and die. They got things, there's a reason how the women's shape is so beautiful. There's massaging that they do when the baby's younger. There's things they do with the boys to make the boys strong. They pull their arms and their muscles. That's why the kids can stand up. They got prayers and rituals and things that they do. They got foods that they eat. You gotta grow up in this to get this one. To really, especially if you want to live here with them. See, that's gonna be the other problem. You ain't gonna want to live here with them like that. You ain't gonna want to live there. You're gonna want the best of everything. You're gonna take them out their natural environment, and you're gonna put them up in these high rises and these she buildings. And at first, it seems really great and wonderful, but they still still simple in that great way, and they still want their own. They want their own. So be careful. Be careful, but let's do the healing work. Yes, let me see. I love it. Yes, that's right. Mel says, right, Crystal, we make the choice of who's allowed in our space and energy. Yes. Yes, we do. Manny says, folks need to stop having kids out of wedlock. We also, and also by multiple partners. I would agree with you. We probably need to stop that. We could probably end that one. I'm going to be there with you on that one. We probably need to stop doing that. As much as we want, which means that we probably might not, we probably need to have less sex too. Because the more sex, then you're probably going to have a baby. And if you're going to do that, then maybe you should use some type of birth control. Like, it just keeps going, you know, like, we probably should stop doing that. That's probably going to lessen our chances. We probably. I mean, it's a tough question, right? But we're doing it. When I studied in Eastern Europe, they were taught to find him right before we graduated. Yes, I wanted to say that. Thank you so much. I remember in my generation, white girls used to go to school to get not their MBA or their BA, but they called it their MRS. Yes, they were looking for their husband. They're taught that. What's going on with us? Thank you, y'all. I'm saying, Queen, I was going to say it, but I'm so glad you did. Chicks used to stand outside of the faculties and catch a man. Come on now. And we over here having intellectual stimulation conversations with them when really we just need to be our divine feminine selves. So yes, and nothing wrong. I like intellectual stimulation too. That's my American way. But you and your husband need to grow into that together. Mutual friends and community, yeah, and that too. We used to meet each other the same thing that they did. You already know your status. You're already going to meet the girl that's over here, the girl that's over there, the boy that's over there. We used to have it. It's such a shame. Yes, mutual friends community. Hello from the UK. Hey, Lady Sam. So another greetings. I definitely pass on the information to young black women. My daughter married her high school sweetheart. She has her bachelor's and an easy stay-at-home wife with 2 lovely boys. They plan correctly. I love it. I love it. I love to know. I got chills from that because I know Spirit is speaking to me to give this message and to hear this confirmation. I said, she can get her degree. She goes to college, she get her degree. But she still got a man, and they get, yes, it sounds beautiful. The feminist movement was a lie. It was not about empowerment. It was about collecting more taxes. Come on, 50% more of the population working. It was the truth. And it was governed by the others anyway, so there that was. That definitely shouldn't have been applied to us. We should have really turned that back around and said, wait a second, we're trying to keep our men, we're trying to keep our families together, we're trying to build a legacy together. All of them got summer homes and vacations. Yeah, summer homes and vacations, darling. So if you didn't make it over there, I promise you that that good-looking guy that you want, and you know you have seen he has absolutely nothing. If that same man was in the States, you would look by him. Maybe the good looks would get you for a minute, and then he would be community DICK, and everybody would know about him. You wouldn't even want him. You take a look at their women, and you be serious with yourself. You take a look at their women, the women that if they had money, they could have. And you be serious about yourself and say, come on now. Yes. I remember my friend got pregnant out of wedlock. The parents sat down and made plans for the grandchild for the next 10 years so the daughter could finish university. Come on now, Queen. They are always so good. Always. They're always good looking. Those are a dime a dozen. Let me tell you about my mother. Talk about how traditional this was, and we had it in our culture too. My family is from the South. My mother was born in Brooklyn. My grandmother, on my mother's side, North Carolina. On my father's side, Louisiana. My mother from Brooklyn was young. She was 15 or 16. And she got pregnant by another boy in the neighborhood. Let me tell you what they did. Just to show you how deep they had. My grandmother called his mother. The mother came to the house on one weekend. The next weekend, her and that boy was getting married in the house. Even though he went back to his apartment, his house with his mom and dad, and she stayed with her grandmother. That's how important it was to be married. Okay, you did the deed, fine, it happens. You got the girl pregnant, fine, it happens. It was a given that the right thing to do was to be married so you don't shame the family. It was happening, we was doing it. So at least a woman could be like, okay, I was married one day. Because I promise you, if you coming over here and you say you never been married, and you coming over here and you say you got 2 or 3 children already, I promise you he can't take you that seriously, because that he knows that he wants to have his own family. That's what he really wants. But he'll take you a little seriously, because I'm gonna say sometimes too, we started this. I think the men was normal before we all started coming. Not us per se, the other people started this, not us. Because they had way access and they've been coming over here. And they would give the men money to hang out with them, give the men money to have you know what with them, give the men, and it started this whole thing. And then we came behind saying, we're black, we're African, we're not like them, but we doing the same thing. Don't worry, I'm gonna take us, let's go here, I wanna go here, I wanna travel here, I wanna travel there. And if they had a little job, you just took them away from it. I had the man tell me about this one, his complaint. That so they'll be doing their little job, maybe they're a carpenter, a carver, maybe something, a plumber, and they need you with all your money, which is money that you still got to work for. If you don't get a job, you ain't even got that money. And you come over and now you say, oh, I know I met you, but he says, well, I got to work, because you know he still got to take care of his mama. He got bills every single day. And then you come and be like, well, let's go to the Cape Coast. Let's go to even another country. Let's go to Togo. Don't worry, I'll pay. Don't worry, I'll pay. Don't worry, I'll pay. And then you're on a trip here for 2 or 3 weeks. So you take him away from the money that you don't even understand that if he does not work, it's not that him that just don't eat. It's a whole bunch of people that don't eat that one day that he's not out there carving. To you, it's some little old cute little thing he's doing. To him, it's how he eats and his family eats every day. And his family is his mother and his father and his siblings. That's his family. So we come over here with our, oh, you could just take off. Come on, just go. We're going to go. And then when you leave and go back to America, he done lost all that money. Because all you paid for was the trips and the dinners. You paid for what you wanted. And they complain about that we'll go, forget your thing. I did it too. Let's move over here. But that thing he was doing was not just feeding him. I didn't understand all this either. They really don't like you after a while. Yeah, you coming, but they already know like what I'm gonna do because she's coming, and now it takes me away from my business. Yeah, we gotta stop it. Let's please, y'all, because I just feel like when I see how Ghana is getting so popular, I just be like, I'm about to go to the countryside, because this is about to be buck wild out here in the crowd. Women is about to lose their mind. The way we would vet, another thing, the way we would vet if we had some common decency, right? I'm saying the ones that do. In the States, you come in here and marry a man, some come marry a man they never met. Some come, I feel like if you met online, you don't know him. Okay, you ain't meet that man, you don't know him. To come and say, I'm coming to marry my man. Based on what? That's like marrying somebody in prison. You never, okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. Based on what? That's not gonna work out. And then now, oh, you come one time before you leave, you get engaged. Based on what? I mean, you see the writing on the wall. The person don't have nothing. You got to go in yourself and say, why do you want to close your eyes? Why don't you want to see? Why don't you want to see? You got to want to see. But I understand why. But you can't let that desperation, you can't let that lack of love. We have to fill that loving space. Maybe we should be concentrating on our daughters. Because a lot of women, some sisters, right? Some sisters have a so-called, I won't say single mothers, they have their own children. They raise their children by themselves, so to speak. Okay, if you got a daughter, focus on her now. Focus on getting her ready and making sure that she doesn't make the same mistakes. If you know that now you want to get married and you're 35 and you want to have, and then a lot of women when they have babies already by 35, they want a man to do all these things and then they say, but I don't want to have any more children. So now wait, you want the 6-figure guy who really wants children, that's why he's working so hard, and you can't even give him no, it's not gonna work. It's not, take it from me. I know 5 years in Ghana is like 15. It's like 15. It's like dog years. You learn a lot in a short amount of time. I'm trying to help somebody's daughter today. I'm trying to help some young lady. You don't even want more babies because you got 3. You got 3 babies, and you want to be hot girl summer because you're 35 and you used to, I ain't gonna say hot girl summer because I'm sorry, the manosphere stay down. I don't really like that. That's the dumb thing. I'm gonna take that back. If it's plotted somebody, then that's okay, but I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna take that back only because I want to make sure I'm not on the side, but I'm seeing both sides. That's all I'm doing. I'm actually seeing. I've had that experience, so I know. I know the experience. I didn't get married because I knew that was, what would I benefit from that? You don't have anything that I have. Why would I do that? That would be dumb of me. At least to not lose everything. At least if we gonna break up, I can walk out the door with what I came in with. You know what I'm saying? But to get married is a whole nother beast, and you probably shouldn't even do that. It's not gonna last anyway. You know, I would rather have the man have and then say he loved me. I'm gonna believe him more than if he don't have me and say he loved me. I would feel more secure that he had his own money, his own thing, and out of all the women, and if you're young, out of all the girls, he chose me. That man wants you. A man that says he wants you and he has nothing, I would vet every single thing he says, because wants you with what? Here they have to pay the bride price. Do you understand that? You have to pay a bride price. That means he has to pay your parents. Whatever list you give him, his parents, a list of what he needs to provide for you and the family before he marries you. Do you understand? You paying, I'm sure women over here paying their own bride price. I'm sure they paying their own bride price. Worse than that, you're not even requiring a bride price, because what can he give you that you don't really already have? Your usage of cow, he ain't got the cow. Having cows, goats, sheep, that means that you have wealth here. And that's a fact. You ain't got that, but you go. I hope we do better. I hope we do better. Yes. Yes. Why are people staying away from marriage, or shying away from marriage? Because they're not. I see. I don't know if they're shying away. I think that they are, and I think when they get a little older, they might wish that they didn't. I think that because they're looking at the pool and the pool don't look so good. I think that's why so many people are trying to run to other countries because America is very much and it was focused on material things. I think that's why. Marriage is not easy. And if you don't have an understanding of what marriage really is supposed to be, then you're going to have a hard time wanting to be that. Because no one is telling, everybody's telling you it's hard, but that and also you shouldn't do it because maybe the aunties are not saying what this could possibly, the beauty of this and what it can do for the future children to be raised in a marriage because they're not really seeing it promoted because they want to be free because they get this feeling of being free and all their girlfriends are free because the girlfriends ain't got no husband, so the girlfriends are free until they get a certain age and then they realize, oops, wait a second, maybe. So I think it's because of I think the older women have a responsibility to the younger women to say, if you want to get married, maybe you should do it before 25. I mean, I never thought, but I mean, here they would definitely get married before 25. You got to get the babies. You got to have the babies. I say graduate from your college, get you a degree, and you and your man come up together like that. So, yeah. There we go. Good morning to you there. Thank you, Barbara. Okay. Anyway, that was a new one. And that's why we changed the channel's name. I think that's definitely high elevation. So I just wanted to share that. Hopefully the message will get around. You know, I could never, I'm going to put this out there so in the public, I could never hate on a person younger than me. I would never do it. I could never be jealous of somebody younger than me. I would never do it. But this message I'm giving you out of experience. I'm telling you that I live here and I know. I'm telling you from an older woman's perspective. It ain't gonna work. It can't. The odds are against you. A man needs to have his own. He needs to come in with his own so that he can really see if he would choose you. He may not. He may not. All right, y'all. I've got my message across. I'm a little bit hungry. I'm going to go eat. I love you all very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.